Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. I hope you all had a Merry Christmas and soon to have a Happy New Year. I know it's been a while since I posted videos, and I've been thinking to myself, most of the things you need to know, they're already on videos that I've made in the past, and most of them are just worthy of being watched yet again. So I encourage that from you guys, in case you're wondering. So I'm just going to recap a few things that I've said before because I'm thinking about it, and it just needs to be said again. Based on our belief systems and your individual personality and just who you are, people are going to track to each other. They're going to move in a direction where you're going to just want to be part of a certain group, like a tribe. Or just you might want to just settle down in a certain area where you just feel where you need to be. Your soul will guide you. You'll feel a guidance to where you need to be, and you'll be put in that situation. So I'm gonna make a small parenthesis here, and I'm just gonna explain something for you. And this is something that I envisioned once before. I once helped somebody find a piece of jewelry that was underwater. And if you remember that, then the way that I saw the piece of jewelry underwater or in the pool or wherever that body of water might have been was that I was there looking at the piece of jewelry with my own eyes. The way that I would look at what's in front of me right now, right? In the same way. I saw that the water was wavy, so I was underwater, and I saw a shiny chain. I think it was like some kind of wrist jewelry. It wasn't that long, and I just saw it shining in the water, and it looked just like gold, the way it's supposed to be. And that's how we were able to locate that. So that's how I saw it. I saw it with my third eye. I was able to envision that vividly right in front of me. Okay. So one thing that I saw once was there was a galactic meeting on one of the planets of Saturn. That place is real. It exists, where you go into this. A lot of people talk about this. I know you remember. If whoever might be listening that knows about this, there's a void in space time near what is it now? Jupiter. And then galactic civilizations have meetings there, and there were meetings for physical beings, and there was meetings for galactic beings, non-incarnate spirit beings. And a lot of the discussions that were happening were about Earth, how Earth is a underdeveloped civilization that most don't care too much about. But I know that there are a lot of people that were giving speeches then at that time where they were advocating for the helping or the further development of Earth, because it was it was predicted that it would be under reptilian control or under negative control, and that was something that wasn't asked for. It was something that was denied. Why am I saying this? It's actually very simple. Humans are considered a subspecies. We're not prime top species that you would think of, like the Pleiades or Orion or Sirian. That's a grade A, and I'm sorry to say it like this, but we're a subspecies, right? We're a mixture of so many different species that we're not considered yet ourselves as anything individual for ourselves. We're still very primitive in others' eyes. Now these beautiful galactic beings that decide to show up on Earth, guide the people forward in the direction, and even more admirable are those that recognize that there are these type of assistance that we get from these beings that is acceptable, and under the context of the growing of the planet and the people, then we have a dilemma, because we're trying to move forward and get rid of this reptilian, this connection that we have with negative things. Okay? Is it bad, evil? Are there bad people? There are people that are misguided in my mind, because if we want to think about it linearly, we will eventually go and reach a level just like other species, and maybe faster growth for humanity, because we have the assistance of beings that are here on Earth that are just dedicated to helping. All right, so I'm going to close that parenthesis right there, and I'm going to add a few things here that are meant to motivate you more than anything, so you guys can keep the faith and keep pushing on. Yeah, I'm sorry I can't come in and do a video each and every time, and I much rather would prepare for it, but the time just isn't there. But the preparation is, and I did get a few things together here for you guys. All right, so I looked at a definition online, and it's relative, and it's adjective, considered in relation or in proportion to something else. Right? Proportion to something else. And the next thing I wrote here is the future is bright. And a proportion of your expectation can change, which is good. So when I say something about a future event that could happen, two things will happen here. Those that don't want to have the kind of successes that we're looking for are going to know a fact about the future that they would try to push against. And you would be pushing forward to making sure that that gets completed, or that mission is accomplished, so that you can, advance the human species. If as a planet we don't all get together, there's no way that we'll be able to resolve planetary issues, because we're still dealing with local issues, and we're still dealing with national issues. Right, and we're still dealing with issues with the East and the West, and East and West in any part of the country. There's an East and a West, discord or discrepancy to the social situation of humans. So when someone that's able to acknowledge and see how bad and messed up the world is, I would rather just be a Buddhist monk, because they can transcend more. They're not in that negativity, gunk, gooey, them, us, he, she, BS that takes up people's energy, and more than that, their capacity to move past, just unnecessary bickering over who's right or who's wrong. So those kind of things are something that you should think about, right? And we definitely are all together, and we're all hoping for the best or wishing for the best results. So, for those of you who may or may not know, let's see. So this is what's happening. Those misguided, beings that want to worship a god, perpetuate wars like the ones we're having currently, to appease the gods, their gods, the reptilians and the Dracos. Okay? This is why we're still having wars right now, and why these wars aren't really as pleasurable for them. They're not extracting, they're creating the energy of grief, of hate, of misery, and this is tangible energy that a Draco reptilian would be able to absorb, and in return they are appeasing a god that's reptilian. But guess what? They're calling, but no one's answering. It's fertile. That energy is going nowhere, and it can be transmuted, right? Just how we can take negative and positive and make something good of it. you can transmute this negative energy, right? And that's what most of us are here to do, whether they know it or not. Okay. So that's the goal, the purpose. I know they're trying to say, hey, can you, are you there, our reptilian god? And it's just no one's answering that phone call. It ain't happening. So that's that. And let me just put the little tidbit in here. They asked my reptilian friend if he was God, and he said, no, I am not God. So take that for what it would mean to you. But he just turned down the possibility of being given any sort of higher authority so that they can guide this group of humans, really just, lower class reptilian in the human bodysuits, trying to just spark up the misery and the grief and the hate, so that they can fuel this machine that makes them go, right? So that's the positive thing about it. It's not going to work out. Any future wars that they're going to perpetuate, it would look like a war for you and me. We understand the suffering and misery of people, but the real deeper underlying meaning of trying to shoot this energy or create this mass of misery and blackness and darkness to appease somebody, nobody's going to answer your call. I'm telling you right now, that ain't going to happen. You're going to do it, but you're not going to reach the purpose or the goal that you're looking for, and that's totally out the window. So I might as well tell you now. That's the positive thing of what I wanted to mention, and that's one way of realizing that we're heading in the right direction. I can't say absolutely without a doubt or just a few simple future predictions, but I am not afraid, but I am concerned, and very much likely would like to thread and walk a nice line concerning the just reread this again, the relativity of the information we might receive and how it could be perceived positive or negative. And there's a lot of things that I can just go out and say. So as I said earlier, and I put in a parenthesis in the beginning of the video, I said that this is treated like a subspecies, and how there are souls and that advocated for the resurgence of treating humans, mixture of different species, into a better galactic environment for us, instead of just saying that, that group of individuals down on Earth, they can't agree on anything, and I don't mean me and you, I mean countries, I mean people, I mean communities, I mean your next door neighbor. You couldn't agree with anything enough for that we can all as a group get together and be accepted as a member of a galactic society. That meeting where there was an advocacy for us was between 1989 and 1993 was when that meeting was there. And the being that did the advocating was Enki. Other than the physical beings that were there was a different kind of meeting going on at the same time. All right, so I leave you guys with that. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll try and pop in here as soon as possible when I can. But just, rewatch my videos. I won't link them or anything in any way. It's all there, hopefully. But I'm just going to take some advice, and I'm going to repeat myself over and over again for whatever it's worth. And most of these things can eventually catch hold, and we can all be on the same page. So I wish you guys the best, and let's see if I wrote anything else here. No, I think that we are okay. Let me just double check here. Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to say. You guys have a good rest of your day. Happy New Year, and see you soon.